Hi everybody, it is Chase and Mr. Hilliard. Chase wanted to say hi.
Hi.
There you go. He's been a good boy. It's very hard for him to be home. Um, he has almost done his schoolwork, right?
Yeah.
For the whole year. He'll be done kindergarten this year. He's going into first grade, right?
Yeah, I guess.
You're getting to be an old man.
What?
I love you. You gonna go upstairs and build your gorilla?
I already
You
finished.
already finished the gorilla?
Yeah, it took hard work to see it.
Okay. I'll be up in a few minutes. Bye.
Bye.
Love you. He almost trips out of the room. This has been a difficult week for me on a lot of levels. I am struggling with government. I'm struggling with people. I'm even struggling with church. And if any of you know me, you know that I am very transparent and I am very real with you guys. So I'm just struggling with a lot of things right now. I'm not depressed. I'm not down in the dumps. It's just I'm just trying to figure a lot of things out right now. I emailed the White House. I emailed our governor this week. Actually, I just did all this today. And I emailed one of our state senators. Apparently, our governor wants to start tracking people. That's not a problem. Really? So I basically asked him in my email, where does the Constitution and the Bill of Rights enter into your decision making? I'm just struggling. I'm struggling. And the other thing I'm struggling with is this. I really miss you guys. You know the old saying that you don't know what you got till it's gone. These two classes this year, you all have meant a lot to me. And there's no closure this year for being able to see any of my seniors. Even those of you that watch these videos that have already graduated, there's no closure this year. I don't know about graduation. I almost said something bad about Delaware's governor. I almost called him a name that it wasn't going to be horrible. But I almost used the word dumb. Your governor, Pennsylvania's governor, New Jersey's governor, Maryland's they're all nuts. And maybe they're not nuts. I just think they're using this time as a power grab for socialism and government control. The bigger the government, the better off we all are, which is not true. It's the smaller the government, the better off we all are. Anyway, it's just been a very frustrating week. I miss hugging people. I miss shaking hands. Some of the good things that have come out of this time is that I've created some good communication with a couple of you through social media. And I'm thankful for those friendships, and hopefully those friendships last for as long as God allows. But I'm very thankful for you guys. There was a time this year that I seriously considered not coming back next year. And here's why, parents, for those of you that don't know. And this is not me bragging. This is not me saying, look at me and look at how awesome I am. This is not what this is about. But I drive an hour and a half one way to come teach every Thursday. So it's a 3-hour round trip. So that's 3 hours plus the 2 hours that I'm at school that I'm not working, I'm not doing my full-time job, and I'm not with my family. But God has given me that time to be able to speak and be a part of your lives, speak into and be a part of your lives. And parents, that's why I do what I do. I do this. I drive that far, literally, just so I can spend time with your kids, have an opportunity to speak and to minister into their lives and to teach them history along the way. And teach them history from a different perspective. I am not your average everyday history teacher. History is very important to me. History is one of the most important parts of my life. If I'm not learning something about history, then I'm bored. And I'm really bored right now because I'm really missing baseball. I'm really missing watching the Phillies. Really, really, really missing the Phillies. I miss the end of hockey season. It's very, very frustrating. Um, and again, I'm not depressed. It's just I'm in this mode today. The other thing is, as I pull an eyelash out of my eye, last week I had asked for prayer for my mom. Well, Thursday morning, she went home to be with the Lord. Very mixed emotions, very sad, but very happy all at the same time. This is something we have been praying for. This is something I have been preparing for about 6 months. She was just existing, and that's not living. And so I'm excited that she's with the Lord. She's whole again. So she went home to be with the Lord. Some of you knew that. Some of you heard about it. I got several messages from some of you and your parents. And thank you so much for reaching out. Thank you for loving me the way that you do. And speaking of loving, I love my family so much. We're going through some family issues here. Nothing between the three of us, my wife and son and I, we're all good. We've just got some things going on that just don't seem to be fair right now. And it's a long story, and maybe if you want to know about it, you can message me, email me, you can ask me how to pray. I will let you know for sure. But I don't want to broadcast this out there. Some of the stuff you guys knew about last year, and now we're kind of dealing with, not to the extent, but we're kind of dealing with some stuff this year as well. But I love my family so much. The campgrounds in Pennsylvania opened up last week. So literally decided very last minute on Thursday last week. Well, actually, it was Wednesday night. After I made this video, I was like, you know what? We need to go camping. Let's go camping. But I didn't want to do the tent thing because we usually do the tent thing. And if you've been tent camping, that is a lot of work. Setting up. Anyway, it's just a lot of work. So we rented a cabin at a campground in Gettysburg. Got away for the weekend, which put your grades on the back burner again. And I apologize for that. But I will be definitely working on those throughout the rest of this week. Everything hopefully will be up to date by the weekend. But last weekend, I just needed to get, I don't know if you've ever been, I just needed to get out of town. Between mom dying and the stuff we're going through and just being cooped up in our house all the time, finally a weekend where we just chose to just go away and went to Gettysburg. And you can go online and see all of my pictures. Just a really good time. We found some paths behind monuments that we've never been down before. It's always fun going to Gettysburg. I love Gettysburg so much. This was going to be the year that I was going to really try to plan a trip for all of us to go to Gettysburg. But that doesn't look like that's going to happen. Don't know what the end of the year looks like. I don't know what graduation looks like. I'm assuming prom is canceled. I have no idea. I don't know what... If there is a prom, I'm going to tell you right now, and Mrs. Hilliard and I are going to be chaperoning again this year. But I haven't heard. If it's canceled, it's canceled. If it's not, I'm going to tell you it's going to be a fun party. I might actually dance. No, not really. No. But that's where things are here. Here's the other thing. I want to make an appeal to you. Some of you are worried about your grades. And that's fine, and I understand that. But we have 3 weeks left of school. I think that's right. 15 days? Is that right? School ends the 21st, I think. So this is the 6th, so yeah, something like that. So it's just, here's the thing. I have an opportunity for you all to do some extra credit. If you're interested in extra credit, it's going to be a cool extra credit. It's very last minute. It's going to be time consuming. But if you want to do it, I guarantee you will love it. If you love anything about my history classes, you will love this idea that I have. But there's just been a lot going on in all of our lives. I'm not making excuses. These are just facts. It's how life is right now. So your grades will be up to date. If not completely done over the weekend, they should be done by Monday. Let me say that, okay? My other appeal to you is this. Please watch these videos. I don't know how else to ask you to do that. Please watch the videos. Some of you, I know you. Some of you just leaf through to try to find out what your homework is for the week and what you need to do. That's not cool, okay? I'm trying to do what I have to do to help you guys out to get your grades. I show grace, so I ask that you show me some grace and show me some mercy. Watch my videos, even if they're boring. Please watch them. Please watch them all the way through, so you know what's happening, so you know the thought processes of the Hilliard Rants. We're at 11 minutes into this video now. Here's the thing. U.S. history. Let me look again. I'm looking down on the floor. U.S. history. Chapter 23 is due next week. World Civ. Chapter 24 is due next week. You're a chapter off. So I'm going to try to have one last exam before, and it's not going to be a whole year exam. I just do exams with the books. That's how I do it. So we'll see how that works out. So I hope to get these last exams in. Once we get to chapter 25 in both books, I think that's where we're pretty much going to end up stopping. We may have some conversations about some things. I may try a Zoom call. I may. I don't know yet. I haven't thought that all the way through. I just want to see everybody, and I miss everybody. So U.S. history is chapter 23 next week. World Civ chapter 24 is next week. Here's the deal this week. We're getting into World War II. And it's kind of worked out so both classes are at World War II. World War II is an interesting time in our history. And an interesting time in history in the world. It's funny because all of these things, everybody thought it was always the end of the world. We're in one of those situations right now, which to me this one is just controlled and annoying. And I'm over it. But World War II started. It's an interesting fact, and you guys know I like to give you little backstories that you may not know about. Real quick on World War II. The beginning of World War II, what brought us into the war was Pearl Harbor. Don't watch them. If you're gonna watch the movie, only watch the action scenes, because the love story is just stupid. It is just stupid. Okay, hear me? Stupid. Has nothing to do with the anyway. It is what it is. But there was a Japanese representative visiting the White House a few days prior to December 7th of 1941. All of a sudden, January 6th, or I'm sorry, December 6th, 1941, this Japanese representative did not show up. And we all know what happened the following day. Now, there are rumors. There are a lot of rumors that many people in D.C., even Roosevelt at the time, knew that the Japanese were going to attack and did nothing about it. The morning of December 7th, there were several reports of Japanese aircraft over certain parts of Hawaii, and no one believed anybody. There is just all of these weird things that happened. However, Pearl Harbor was bombed. That brought us into the war. December 7th, 1941. And that is something that is a date that I don't want to ever forget. Because that is the first time that we were attacked on American soil. You can't include the Revolution because it really, at that time, wasn't American soil. But this is something outside. Somebody outside of the United States attacked the United States, and then we know the second time was September 11th, 2001. But here's where the war, bringing the United States into the war, this is what the Japanese said. One of the Japanese commander, one of the admirals on one of the boats said, "My biggest fear is that we have awoken a sleeping giant." Kind of like today. I think there's a lot of sleeping giants right now. There's a lot happening in our country that it's time that we took a stand. It's time to fight back, and it's time to defend ourselves. And I think what happened with World War II, a lot of people wanted us in the war. There were rumors that the president wanted to get us into the war. But we ended up fighting on two fronts. We ended up fighting the Japanese in the Pacific, and then we were fighting the Germans basically in Eastern Europe. Here's where the extra credit comes in. You all know that I have said this in the past. Adolf Hitler was fascinating to me. He was a fascinating person in how he rose to power. And you look at what is happening with some of our governors right now. Some of our governors are being extremely tyrannical in how they are handling this power that they have. Unconstitutional. Now we have our governor here that wants to start, he wants to come up with a coronavirus corps. Basically people that go around tracking people that are sick or not sick, or basically trying to control people through other people. Tattletales, if you will. This is how fascism starts. This is how Hitler started. Hitler started by people turning in their guns and turning in their weapons. Then he went to controlling Jews. Every Jew had to wear a badge so everybody knew who the Jews were. Kind of interesting. But Hitler, he was probably one of the most evil men in history. What he did, Auschwitz, is extremely important for you to understand and know about. The concentration camps that the Jews were sent to, how they handled prisoners of war, things that they were doing to try to test people as if they were animals, put them in gas chambers, lining them up by the hundreds and just shooting them. That's stuff that happened. History cannot be rewritten as far as that goes. But I challenge you. There are a couple of World War II movies that are out. Pearl Harbor, it's okay. Dunkirk is a fantastic movie. Very violent, okay, but it's based on what happened. It's an island where the British forces were trying to get off of Dunkirk Island, and it was very difficult for them to get off. Interesting one. One of the best World War II movies I have seen recently is called Midway. You want to understand Pearl Harbor? It's in the beginning of Midway. You want to understand what it was like for us to before we bombed Tokyo and all that stuff, the in-between time. Understand Midway is a great movie. I'm trying to think of the movie. I can't think of the movie with Tom Cruise was in it, and it's slipping my mind. The movie that these 5 officers in the German army tried to take Hitler out. I cannot remember the name of the movie. It is literally slipping my. But it's a great movie. I didn't realize that this has happened until I had actually started studying and reading this, and it's an amazing story. But the Germans, in their technology and their advances, they were far ahead of us in many ways as far as their technology, how their planes flew, how the ideas of all of their engineering. They were very smart people. Hitler's not a dummy. Hitler had some fantastic people around him brain-wise. Whether they liked Hitler or not, people, I think, did things for Hitler because they were afraid of him more than anything else. As you read through World War II and you hear about Hitler, Hitler was fascinating to me because of how he could get people to follow him. which leads me to the extra credit. I think I mentioned it last week, but I'm going to bring it up to you this week. If you have Amazon Prime, there is a series by the History Channel, one of the very few History Channel things that I would recommend. It's called Hunting Hitler. I have always ascribed to the fact, and your history book will tell you as well, I think in this one, it says that Adolf Hitler shot himself, took poison, shot himself, and that's what everybody in his bunker did. I don't think so. I think there's a lot of proof that Hitler escaped and actually planned the Fourth Reich in South America. Not a conspiracy. This series, Hunting Hitler, there are 3 seasons of it, 8 episodes each. For your extra credit, it's going to require you to sit down and watch these things. And I encourage you to watch it with your families. Watch it with your parents. I don't think it's a family thing to sit down. I have fallen in love with this series again. And it is absolutely one of the most fascinating things, which even makes me more fascinated with Hitler and how the people around him helped him escape, and the many routes, and how the Catholic Church was involved in changing names of the Germans to help them escape Germany. Oh yes, and the Red Cross. Fascinating. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to watch the series. I know we only have 3 weeks of school left, 2 weeks of school left. I understand that. Okay? If you want extra credit, I will give you probably at least a test grade and a quiz grade's worth of this. I want you to watch the series, and I want you to write a 3-page paper about it. I want to know your personal thoughts. I want to know let me back that up. Not your personal thoughts. What I want you to do is this. I want you to say to me, yes, I think he did escape, and here's why. No, he did not escape, and here's why. Okay? That's what I want you to do. If you want this extra credit, it will be a bonus, an extra bonus to a lot of you. Hunting Hitler by the History Channel. However you can get that, however you can watch it. I think you can even watch it on the History Channel app, I think. But I know that right now, if you have Amazon Prime, it is free. All 3 seasons are on there. 15 episodes. No, I'm sorry. 24 episodes. Tell me what you think. I want you to write a 3-page paper. Yes, he escaped, and here's why. No, he did not escape, and here's why. I want you to form your own opinion. I don't want to give too much away, but this series is an eye-opener. I believe that we would have been in a world of hurt had that man stayed alive. And if he hadn't died in where everybody thinks in South America at this point. All of the investigative things the CIA had, the FBI, all of them that were tracking the Germans all around the world. Why they didn't take them out beforehand, I don't know. But this series is amazing. So I challenge you, especially during this with World War II. We're getting ready to close out World War II. And there's only 5 chapters left after this. We're probably not going to finish the book. I have kept you up to date on the world and current events and all that kind of stuff. But World War II, fascinating time. There's a lot of movies about World War II. John Wayne movies, greatest actor of all time. You know why John Wayne was so great? Because John Wayne always acted like John Wayne. John Wayne was the same in every John Wayne movie there ever was. Just saying. There's a lot of World War II movies. Battle of the Bulge, very long movie, but the tank battle that took place. Iwo Jima, the Sands of Iwo Jima, Midway. There are. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Midway is a big one. There were 2 Midway movies made. Midway. There was Midway. The first one was made in like the 60s and 70s, but the second Midway movie is more accurate. Battle of the Bulge is pretty unbelievable. There's just a lot of amazing stories during World War II. Also, the Corrie ten Boom story comes out of World War II. They were Christians that hid Jews and were sent to a concentration camp and basically died there. Except Corrie ten Boom made it through and lived an amazing life and wrote books up until, I think, the 90s, to be honest. I think it was the 90s. But World War II this week. There's a lot of fascinating stuff that came out of World War II. Send me your questions. Again, I say this to you, and I'll know that you're watching this to the end if I get at least one video from somebody. I want to hear from you in some way, shape, or form. Tell me that you're still alive and kicking. Make a funny video. The Winchesters have been putting out some funny videos. Tobyler, I miss Tobyler. Tobyler put out a funny video once, and that was the last time I heard from Tobyler. I hear from Jeff Farrow quite a bit. I hear from Olivia a lot. Some of you have reached out concerning my mom, and I'm very appreciative of that. Thank you for that. I'm not looking for you guys to reach out again, but thank you for the love and support that we got last week. But guys, listen, World War II is very important. To me, it's not. It is important to me. You know how much I love the Revolution and how much I love the Civil War. World War II is one of those wars that a lot of good came out of it. There were some questionable things that came out of it as well. Government overreach started at the end of World War II. We can get into that. Roosevelt had some crazy ideas. Social Security, unemployment, all those. Yeah. Anyway, but understand the extra credit. Okay. Watch Hunting Hitler. I know a few of you are going to do this. So watch Hunting Hitler, all 24 episodes. If you watch them, write a report. Here's the deal. I'm not going to make it be 3 pages. I want at least 2. Okay? And I understand. I don't need sources. Well, if you want to give me sources to give me the opposite view of why you think Hitler didn't die, or why Hitler died in the bunker, why you think he did die. If you think he didn't die, your source is obviously going to be the History Channel. Or if you can get a hold of the FBI files on it, God bless you. But Hunting Hitler, I think that's a really cool way to get you to watch something cool. I think some of you probably don't have much else to do. And you're probably binge watching Stranger Things or some other dumb show. I say dumb because it's dumb to me. It doesn't mean it's dumb. It's just my opinion, okay? I'm 47. Some things you guys like, I'm like, what are you watching? So I will end with that. Please understand this. I really, really miss you. I would love to hear from you. If you want to send me a personal video, just saying hi, I would love that. I cannot tell you how much I miss the interaction with you guys. Some of you, this is the last year I'm going to have you. Some of you, this is the first year I've had you, and I'm looking forward to another year with you. I miss you, and I'm praying for you, and I love you, and hopefully I will hear from some of you. So again, I'm going to reiterate this. Extra credit, Hunting Hitler. Yes, he did die, and here's why. No, he didn't die, and here's why. Watch the Hunting Hitler videos on Prime or on the History Channel app. or however else you can watch it. But I love you, and I miss you, and please let me hear from you.